We're back with another pool table review. This time it's on the third generation of the Rasson Victory, and I think this one is the best one yet. When it comes to the build quality of this table, it's very, very different than the previous generations, and they've made a lot of changes, which are some of the things that we want to highlight in this video. One major change that I like the most is that they're using this African wood. It's a high pressure laminate on their rails, but it's anti-fingerprint. And so some of the previous generations, when you would literally touch this table, if you had any kind of oils on your hand, it would show up and they were very difficult to remove. Like, it took some effort, but you would just notice the fingerprints all across the table. So I'm really impressed with this matte black finish on this table that's anti-fingerprint. It looks so much better, in my opinion. And I also think that it's a good upgrade from their previous generation. Some of the other things to note is the finishes on this table are different. So they have the silver and the black. And then you've got the same basically patented leveling system. It's called the SLS slate leveling system, and their leg leveling system, LLS. Both of those are pretty much the same as previous generations. But other than that, for those reasons, we really settled on a score for the build quality of a 9 out of 10. To the aesthetics and features of the table. So they've made a few changes in the body lines, which I really like, and it really pops out. They have the chrome logos, and they also feature some other things. So they have the Victory 3 on the apron, as well as 9 ball, which is really cool. And just those things really pop, and they look really, really good. The body lines in the leg, the matte black finish, by far one of the sexiest tables I think that's on the market right now, and I really like this third generation. When I told you at the beginning, this was like one of my favorite designs by them. It's really, really good looking. And so we set it up in our Charleston store. It's just the first thing you see. It's a great centerpiece for your home, but also too, just the black and silver and the way everything just floats in the room. This leg is something special. So for all of those reasons, we settled for a 9 out of 10 for the aesthetics and features. When it comes to the ease of assembly for the Rasson, it's my most critical part of the table. It is by far the most difficult and sometimes most annoying pool table to work on, mainly for a few reasons, but it all comes into the technology that's built in this. It's kind of like the trade-off, right? If you want the most advanced pool table, it's going to be the hardest to work on. So I really highly recommend, if you have one of these, to have a professional service one of these, just because of how difficult they are. Everything from the pockets to the slate leveling system. There's an 18-point slate leveling system on here. The slate screws aren't screws, they're bolts. So you have a nut and a bolt. Most of the old tables, you're going to screw that into a wood frame. This has an all steel frame. So all of that technology just creates a more difficult install. And so it's going to equate to a lower review, but it's because of all the technology. So in this fact, quite frankly, the lower review kind of stands out for the value of it, to be honest. One of the few things too is when it comes to leveling this table, you literally have like 36 slate adjusters that you have to put on, but it's what's supposed to be. It's so you have all those fine-tuned adjustments. For those reasons, this install can take 12 hours from scratch, maybe 13, 14 hours all in together. It's by far our longest install. For those reasons, we settled for a 3 out of 10 for the ease of assembly. When it comes to the value for your money for the Rasson Victory 3, I think this is one of the best buys you can make for a few reasons. You get all the technology that I've talked about in the previous categories, but also to the play. I haven't found a table that I think plays better, that feels truer when the rebounds come off the rails. It's exactly what I'm expecting the ball to do. With Simonis 860 on the table, just the way the overall experience, it's quite frankly, I think worth way more than what they're selling this table for. Right now, you can buy a 9-foot table like this for $11,999. It's an amazing, incredible value. And for those reasons, I settled for a 10 out of 10 for the value of your money. To the brand review, a lot of people know Rasson's. We've reviewed Rasson tables in the past, and there's a few things that have changed over the past years, and so I kind of want to acknowledge that. In a previous video for the Rasson Acura, you can click here and go see that one, I talk about how we've had some problems with getting replacement parts, how it took time to delay. Well, the distributor in North America changed, and so now it's distributed by a different company, and we've put about 6 of these in since they finally released, which was just this year, or this month, excuse me. we have ran into some other problems with that. For instance, quality control, I think, could use a little bit of improvement, and I know they're working on it. So essentially, like, we've had rail bolts that were just a little bit longer than the rest of them. So we had 3 rail bolts on one table that were longer than the rest. So we couldn't use those rail bolts. We had to use other rail bolts. Not a big issue, but just, you know, some areas of improvement. And then also we ran into one point where the branding stickers were kind of coming loose. And so other than that, the table's been immaculate. I love the redesign on the pockets. The pockets go in way easier than they used to. So they have made leaps and bounds of improvement. Like I talked about, the anti-fingerprint finish on top of the rails. That's a great improvement in my personal opinion. I hate seeing fingerprints on a table, especially after we've installed it and you see our palm prints all over it and we can't get it off in a customer's house. So they have made huge areas of improvement. But in my attitude and in my philosophy and in my company, we're always looking for 1% better, right? So you can't ever have a perfect table, but in this table, the way that they've changed some designs, I like the direction that they're going because they're making it better. And they are making changes, which a lot of brands don't do that. So other than that, the brand review, we settled for an 8 out of 10 for the Rasson brand. If their quality control increased slightly a little bit better and it was more predictable with the bolts that we're getting, it would be higher, but for now it's an 8 out of 10. So if you're looking to pick up this specific table, the Rasson Victory 3, you can reach out to us. We have this one in our Charleston store. We also have a Greenville store, and we have a Columbia store coming up soon. I'll share all those details in later videos. But this one specifically, if you're trying to test it out or you just want to get a feel, you want to see how it compares to a Diamond or a Brunswick, we have this set up in our Charleston store. It's where we currently are, Charleston Billiards and Q. You can look it up on Google or just check us out at charlestonbilliards.com. And then this table's retailing right now for $11,999, and we're including Simonis felt with it. So if you're interested in picking one up yourself, reach out to us at 843-553-9595 or 864-283-6929.